Hi guys, let's start with part number 2 of test number 31 UPSC 2021 Prelims test series from Vision IAS. So question number 21. Consider the following events in the history of modern India. Number 1, we have Guruvayur Satyagraha. So Guruvayur Satyagraha took place in 1931 to 32, and it was a satyagraha in the present Thrissur, then part of Ponani Taluk of Malabar district, and now it is a part of Kerala, seeking entry for untouchables into the Guruvayur temple. So this satyagraha is to seek entry for untouchables into the Guruvayur temple. So now let's come to number 2, that is Vaikom Satyagraha. So Vaikom is a small town located in the current Kottayam district, which is in Kerala. The famous agitation took place in 1924. So it took place in 1924. So 1924, and it is known as Vaikom Satyagraha, and its first organized movement. So it is the first organized movement against untouchability in India. Now let's come to number 3, that is Flag Satyagraha. Flag Satyagraha was a peaceful civil disobedience movement of the freedom struggle of India, in which people were hoisting flags everywhere under the right to hoist the national flag. The movement mainly took place in Nagpur in 1923. Which of the following is the correct chronology of the above events? So the first event which took place was Flag Satyagraha in 1923. So 3 is first. Then next would be in 1924 Vaikom Satyagraha 2, and then in 1931-32 we have Guruvayur Satyagraha. So 1. So the sequence would be 3, 2, 1. So the correct option is option number C. Now let's come to question number 22. Consider the following statements with reference to fog and mist. Number 1, the western continental margins are characterized by most fogs. Then eastern continental margins. This is correct. Then we have statement 2. Fog contains more moisture than mist. This is incorrect. It should be mist. Mist contains more moisture than fog. So the difference between mist and fog is that mist contains more moisture than fog. In the mist, each nucleus contains a thicker layer of moisture. Now let's come to statement 3. Mist are frequent over mountains. This is correct. Which of the statements given above are correct? So the correct answer is option number D, that is 1 and 3 only. Now let's come to question number 23. Consider the following statements with reference to the oil and gas industry in India during the last 5 years. Statement 1. Indigenous crude oil production has steadily increased. So it's saying that it has steadily increased during the period. This is incorrect. So in the financial year 2020, crude oil production in India stood at 30.5 million metric ton, which is lower than the production of 35.5 million metric ton during 2015-16. So this is during 2015-16, and this 20.5 is during the financial year 2020. So there has been a reduced in the indigenous crude oil production and not increased. So this is incorrect. Statement 2. Import of crude oil has declined during the period. This is incorrect. So crude oil import rose sharply to US dollar 101.4 billion dollars in 2019-20 from US dollar 63.9 billion in 2015-16. So there is an increase in the import of crude oil and not decline. So this is incorrect. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? So both of them are incorrect. Option D, neither one nor two is the correct answer. Now let's come to question number 24. This is a unicellular organism. The cell has a definite shape and food is taken in at a specific spot. Food is moved to this spot by the movement of cilia, which cover the entire surface of the cell. Which of the following organisms has been described in the above passage? Option A, amoeba. This is incorrect. Option B, yeast. In option C, yeast. This is incorrect. Option D, E. coli. This is also incorrect. So the correct option is option B, that is paramecium. Now let's come to question number 25. Which of the following bank assets are categorized under high quality liquid assets, that is HQLAs, high quality liquid assets? So the first statement is cash reserves in excess of required CRR. This is correct. So these bank assets, they are categorized under HQLA, that is high quality liquid assets. Number 2, marketable securities guaranteed by public sector entities. This is also correct. Number 3, government securities in excess of the minimum SLR requirement. This is also correct. Number 4, government securities within the SLR requirement to the extent allowed by RBI under the marginal standing facility, that is MSF. This is also correct. Select the correct answer using the code given below. So the correct answer is option D, that is 1, 2, 3 and 4. Question number 26. With reference to positive radiative climate forcing, consider the following statements. Statement 1. Positive radiative climate forcing is associated with the Earth receiving more incoming energy from sunlight and radiating back less energy. This is correct. Statement 2. Aerosols are a major contributor to positive radiative climate forcing. This is incorrect. The addition of aerosols to the atmosphere act as a negative. It acts as a negative forcing, either from their direct impact on the atmosphere or by changing how clouds form. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? The correct answer is option A, that is one only. Now let's come to the next question, that is question number 27. With reference to scholars or literature of ancient India, consider the following peers. We have scholars on one side and on the other side we have their patron. The first one is Velavat and his patron is Chandragupta Vikramaditya. This is correct. Number 2, we have Varavi and his patron is King Durvinita. This is correct. Number 3, we have Viraruchi. His patron is Samudragupta. This is incorrect. So Viraruchi is the name of another gem of Chandragupta Vikramaditya, who was a grammarian and Sanskrit scholar. So its patron or his patron is Chandragupta Vikramaditya and not Samudragupta. Which of the pairs given above is or are correctly matched? So the correct answer is option A. That is 1 and 2 only. Now let's come to question number 28. Consider the following pairs. We have telescope. We have telescope on one side and on the other side we have operating organizations. So operating organizations on the other side. The first telescope we have is Devistal telescope and it is operated by Aryabhatta Research Institute of Observational Sciences. This is correct. Then number 2, we have Himalayan Chandra telescope and it is operated by Indian Institute of Plasma Research. This is incorrect. So the 2 meter, so its length is 2 meters. So the 2 meter Himalayan Chandra telescope at the Indian Astronomical Observatory at Mount Saraswati, Dikpa which is there in Ladakh at an altitude of 4,500 meter above mean sea level is remotely operated by the Indian Institute of Astrophysics, that is IIA, Indian Institute of Astrophysics, Bangalore. So number 2 is incorrect. Then the third one is Giant Meter Wave Radio Telescope and it's being operated by National Center for Radio Astrophysics. This is correct. Which of the pairs given above is or are correctly matched? So number 1 is correctly matched and number 3 is correctly matched. So option C is the correct answer. Now let's come to next question, that is question number 29. Consider the following statements regarding Jim Corbett National Park. Statement 1. It lies in the Indian states of Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh. This is incorrect. So it lies in the Nainital district of Uttarakhand. So it lies only in Uttarakhand. Statement 2. It is the largest tiger reserve in India. This is incorrect. It is not the largest tiger reserve, and the largest tiger reserve in India is Nagarjun Sagar Srisailam Tiger Reserve. So statement 2 is incorrect. Statement 3. River Yamuna forms the chief hydrological resources for the national park. This is incorrect. It is Ramganga River. So it should be Ramganga River and its significant tributaries like Sona Nadi, Palain and Mandal, it forms the prominent hydrological resource for the Corbett National Park. Which of the above statements is or are correct? So all the statements are incorrect. So the correct answer is option D. None. Now let's come to question number 30. The term shadow pad, sometimes seen in the news recently, is related to option A, eco-friendly and compostable sanitary napkin made by CSIR. This is incorrect. Option B, a new launching pad of ISRO off the coast of Tamil Nadu. This is incorrect. Option D, a combat tactic used by Indian Army at a line of actual control. This is incorrect. Option C, a new malware attack on India's critical infrastructure. This is correct. So option C is the correct answer. Question number 31. Consider the following statements in the context of the Congress sessions during British rule in India. Statement 1. The Karachi session 1931 of the Congress passed a resolution of the National Economic Program. This is true. Statement 2. The Calcutta session 1901 of the Congress was the first contact of Gandhiji with the Congress. This is correct. Statement 3. Muhammad Ali Jinnah decried the communal electorals in Allahabad session in 1910. This is also correct. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? So the correct option is option number C, that is 1, 2 and 3. Now let's come to question number 32. Which of the above architectural sites belongs to the Gupta period? Number 1, Vishnu as Vira at Udayagiri caves. So this is true. It is in the state of Madhya Pradesh. Number 2, we have Dholi elephant sculpture. So Dholi elephant sculpture is there in Orissa. And it is an elephant which is carved out on a hill face with only his foreparts shown emerging out of the hill face. So this stone elephant is one of the oldest surviving specimen of Indian art dating back to the Maurya period. So it is not of the Gupta period. So it is incorrect. Number 3, brick temple of Vitargan. So this is also correct. And it is there in the state of UP, Uttar Pradesh. Select the correct answer using the code given below. So the correct option is option number A, that is 1 and 3 only. Question number 33. Consider the following statements in respect of the Maritime India Summit, that is MIS. Statement 1. The MIS seeks to promote cooperation among the neighboring countries with an aim to boost security arrangements in the region. This is correct. Statement 2. It is organized under the chairmanship of the Indian Navy. This is incorrect. Maritime India Summit 2021 was recently organized by the Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. So it is not organized by Indian Navy, but it is organized by the Ministry of Sports, Shipping and Waterways. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? So the correct option is option number A, that is 1 only. Now let's come to next question, question number 34. Consider the following statements with reference to the pricing policy for sugarcane. Statement 1. The state advisory price, that is SAP, of sugarcane is uniformly applicable all over the country. This is incorrect. The fair and remunerative price, that is FRP, that is fair and remunerative price of sugarcane determined under Sugarcane Control Order 1966, will be uniformly applicable all over the country. So it is not SAP, but it is FRP, that is fair and remunerative price of sugarcane is uniformly applicable all over the country. So this is incorrect. If the support price announced by the center is not agreeable to the farmers, generally state governments announce state advisory price. So state advisory price is being announced by the state government. So this SAP, that is the state advisory price, it will be over and above the support price announced by the center. And SAP, it varies from state to state and year to year. Now let's come to statement 2. SAP is announced by the central government. This is incorrect. It is not announced by the central government but by the state government based on the recommendations of the Commission for Agricultural Cost and Prices, CACP. This is incorrect. So the fair and remunerative price, that is the FRP. So FRP is being announced by the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, that is CCEA. So the FRP announced by the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs is decided on the basis of the recommendations of the Commission for Agricultural Cost and Prices. So Commission for Agricultural Cost and Prices in consultation with the state government. So state governments will be consulted, and after taking feedback from associations of the sugar industry. So statement 2 is incorrect. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? So the correct option is option number D, that is neither 1 nor 2. Now let's come to next question, that is question number 35. Consider the following statements regarding drug pricing in India. Statement 1. National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority, that is NPPA. So National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority regulates the prices of all the drugs marketed in India. This is incorrect. The National List of Essential Medicine. So National List of Essential Medicine 2011 is adopted as the primary basis for determining essentiality, which constitutes the list of scheduled medicines for the purpose of price control. The Drug Prices Control Order, that is DPCO. So the Drug Prices Control Order, DPCO 2013, contains 680. So it contains 680 scheduled drug formulations spread across 27 therapeutic groups. Only prices of scheduled drugs is regulated by NPPA, that is the National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority. So it should not be all the drugs, but it should be the scheduled drugs. So statement 1 is incorrect. Statement 2. Revision in existing ceiling prices of scheduled formulations is based on the whole price index, that is WPI. This is correct. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? So the correct option is option B, that is 2 only. Question number 36. Consider the following statements with reference to India Mauritius Comprehensive Economic Cooperation and Partnership Agreement, that is CECPA. Statement 1. CECPA is the first trade agreement to be signed by India with a country in Africa. This is correct. Statement 2. CECPA is a limited agreement which does not cover trade in services. This is incorrect because it covers trade in services also. Although the agreement is limited, it covers trade in goods, rules of origin, trade in services, technical barriers to trade, sanitary and phytosanitary measures, dispute settlement, movement of natural persons, telecom, financial services, customs procedures, and cooperation in other areas. So, trade in services is also included. So, statement 2 is incorrect. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? So, the correct option is option A, that is 1 only. Now, let's come to next question, question number 37. It is an artificial embankment dam constructed across the Bias River in the wetland zone of Sivalik Hills. The reservoir created by the dam is one of the international wetland sites of the Ramsar Convention. The wetland is known for hosting the largest congregation of bar-headed geese, which suffered heavy casualties due to the recent outbreak of bird flu, among other factors. Which of the following is being described in the above passage? So, number B. Option B, it is Chandartal, which is incorrect. Option C, Renuka Lake, incorrect. Option D, Asan Barrage, incorrect. Option A, Pong Dam Lake, which is in Himachal Pradesh. This is the correct answer. Now let's come to question number 38. Which of the following best describes Pigovian tax? Statement A. It is a tax levied on purchase and sale of securities. This is not Pigovian tax, but this tax is known as securities transaction tax. Option C. It is a tax on all spot convergence of one currency into another. This is not Pigovian tax, but this tax is called as Tobin tax. Option D, none of the above. Option B, it is a tax placed on any good which creates negative externalities. So an externality is an activity that creates a negative effect on others in a society, but not necessarily the person who does that activity. So the person who does that activity will not have a negative effect, but it creates a negative effect on others in a society. So for example, we can say tax on pollution. So Pigovian tax is It is a tax placed on any goods which creates negative externalities. So option B is the correct answer. Now let's come to question number 39. Consider the following statements with respect to Al-Biruni. So with respect to Al-Biruni's, so this is the name of a book, Kitab-ul-Hind, description of the social and cultural life of India. Statement 1. Siddhimatrika. So Siddhimatrika was a script popular in Varanasi, Kannauj and Kashmir. This is correct. Statement 2. Chatur Varna system was deeply entrenched in Indian society. This is true. Statement 3. Polytheism was practiced by common people. This is also correct. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? So the correct option is option number D, 1, 2 and 3. Now let's come to question number 40. Global warming potential or GWP of greenhouse gas is defined as its ability to trap extra heat in the atmosphere over time relative to carbon dioxide. In this context, arrange the global warming potential of the following gases in decreasing order. So we are going to arrange from the highest to the lowest. So carbon dioxide is assigned a GWP, that is global warming potential value of 1. So carbon dioxide, it has GWP value of 1. The GWP values of various greenhouse gases are generally calculated over a 100-year time horizon. So number 1, we have methane. Methane has GWP value of 21. Number 2, we have sulfur hexafluoride and it has a GWP value of 23,900. Then number 3, perfluoromethane and it has a GWP value of 6,500. Number 4, nitrous oxide, it has a GWP value of 310. Select the correct answer using the code given below. So in here the highest would be 2, that is sulfur hexafluoride. Next would be perfluoromethane, number 3. Then next we have nitrous oxide, number 4. Then methane, 1. So the correct answer is option number D, 2, 3, 4 and 1, which is in the decreasing order. Question number 41. With respect to members of Parliament Local Area Development Scheme, that is MPLADS, consider the following statements. Statement 1. It is a central sector scheme that is fully funded by the Government of India. This is true. Statement 2. Under the scheme, Lok Sabha members can recommend work within their constituencies only. This is true. Statement 3. It mandates 100% compulsory auditing of all works completed by trust which receives funds under the scheme. This is also true. Which of these statements given above is or are correct? So the correct answer is option number D, that is 1, 2 and 3. Now let's come to next question, that is question number 42. The living Planet Report and Living Planet Index are often seen in the news. In this context, consider the following statements. Statement 1. Living Planet Report is released every year by the Worldwide Fund for Nature, that is WWF, which is incorrect. Worldwide Fund for Nature, that is WWF, is the leading organization in wildlife conservation and endangered species, and it releases the Living Planet report every 2 years. So every 2 years and not every year, along with the Living Planet Index, that is LPI. So statement 2 is incorrect. Statement 1 is incorrect. Statement 2. The Living Planet Index has been adopted by the Convention of Biological Diversity, that is CBD, as an indicator of progress towards its 2011-2020 target to conserve biodiversity. This is correct. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? So only statement 2 is correct. So the correct option is option B, 2 only. Now let's come to next question, that is question number 43. Consider the following statements regarding the National Youth Parliament Scheme, that is NYPS. Statement 1. It is conducted to strengthen the roots of democracy among all the school students. This is incorrect. NYPS, that is National Youth Parliament Scheme. So NYPS seeks to strengthen the roots of democracy, inculcate healthy habits of discipline, tolerance of the views of others, and to enable the student community to know about the parliamentary system of government functioning. It envisages organizing youth parliament sittings. So it envisages organizing youth parliament sittings in schools or universities or colleges across the country. So it's not only schools but also universities, colleges across the country. So statement 1 is incorrect. Statement 2. The participants may speak in any of the scheduled languages. This is correct. Statement 3. It is organized by the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. This is incorrect. So it is organized under the aegis of the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs. Which of the statement given above is or are correct? So the correct answer is option C. That is 2 only. Now let's come to question number 44. Consider the following statements with respect to the reservation in promotion in government jobs in India. Number 1. The Indian Constitution provides for reservation in promotions in the government jobs to scheduled caste SCs and scheduled tribes STs. This is correct. Statement 2. Reserved promotion post for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes that remain unfilled can be carried forward to the subsequent year. This is also correct. Now let's come to statement 3. Promotion in government jobs for SCs and STs is guaranteed by the state as a fundamental right under the Indian Constitution. This is incorrect. It is not a fundamental right. Which of the statements given above are correct? So the correct answer is option number A. That is 1 and 2 only. Now let's come to question number 45. He was a strong proponent of internal yoga and started a new publication, Karam Yogini. So he started a new publication called Karam Yogini. He advocated that political freedom is the life birth of a nation. He served as a civil servant in the princely state of Baroda in the service of Maharaja as well as the principal of Bengal National College. Identify the personality from the above passage. Option B, Mahadev Govind Ranade. Incorrect. Option C, Subhash Chandra Bose. Incorrect. Option D, Rash Bihari Bose. Incorrect. Option A, Aurobindo Ghosh. This is the correct answer.